Welcome to Wellness by Degrees. Today for class, you'll only need one chair. We're going to warm up and then do some strength and balance with warrior series and a couple standing poses. Start off in mountain pose, making sure shoulders are stacked over the hips, knees are stacked over the ankles. We're drawing up through the pelvis, lengthening through the spine, rolling the shoulders back, and having a nice long neck. Now to start off, we'll just work on our ankles. Actually, let's go down to the toes. So let's start by just lifting the toes off the ground and pressing them back down. Lift and press. Lift and press. Lift and press. Now we'll lift that a little bit higher, so toes come up, the balls of the feet come up, and back down. Lifting up and back down. Again, up and down. And switching, we'll lift at the ankles, lifting the heels off the ground, and down. Going at your own pace, up and down, up and down. Now we'll switch off, so up with the heels and down, up with the balls of the feet and down. We'll do that 2 more times. And 1. Now lifting the heels up, we're just going to start to bring the ankles back and forth. And be aware of your breathing. Make sure that you are breathing. You can breathe at your own pace, but begin to match the breathing with the movement. And let the heels come back down. We're just going to start to draw. We'll start with the right foot. Draw the right foot back, and we're going to tuck the toes underneath and press the tops of the toes into the ground, getting a bit of a stretch through the top of the foot. Breathe through the stretch. Begin to deepen the breathing, sucking the air down in through the belly. You might even put the hands on the belly, allowing it to expand and contract. Bring the right foot back, and we're going to start to slide the left foot all the way back, tuck the toes under, and press them into the ground. Continuing to breathe. Letting the toes come back, pressing the feet evenly into the ground. Bringing the right foot forward slightly. We're hinging at the hips, putting the hands on either side of the right knee, and we'll begin by picking up the knee and just massaging around that knee. If you've seen past videos, you know you can also keep the foot down, just lift the heel and still massage around the knee as you lift and lower the heel. A lot of people really enjoy this one. We're making sure that the elbows are out, the spine is still long as we massage around the knee. Set the leg down, hinge forward, and rub along the sides of that knee, warming it up. And then you might pinch around the kneecap and bring that leg back in. Moving to the other side, so we move forward slightly on the left side. So you can do it like this, where you just lift the heel, or you can lift the entire foot and make sure that you're nice and long, elbows are out, and massage while lifting the foot up and down. Nice big movement. Wonderful. When you're ready, you can bring that foot back down, bring the hands to the sides of the knee, and rub along the side of the knee, really warming it up. And then pinch around the kneecap, and bring the knee back in. Now from here, we're going to start to draw the legs up and in. So depending on your flexibility, there might be a very subtle movement to a very large movement, and it doesn't matter where you get, this is all helping you become more flexible, and it helps with strength. So we're going to start to lift the foot up. So right now we're just drawing onto the ball of the foot. We'll hinge back slightly, so hinging at the hips. We're going to wrap our hands around the bottom of that right leg and start to lift it up. So you might just come to here. You might start to wrap one of your hands around the front of your leg and one underneath for support, and you might come in a little bit further. Or you might wrap both hands, fingers intertwined around the front of the knee and pull the knee in towards your chest. So wherever we are, we're just going to hold here for a moment. We're trying to draw the chest up, lifting the sternum as we draw the leg in. So this is going to help with all sorts of things. This will help with flexibility, it'll help with strength, it's going to help a little bit with balance. So wherever you are, we're just lifting through the chest, lifting up through the leg, and breathing. Let's say you're here and it's hard to draw in a complete breath. You might come back a little bit, so you might come back to here. And if that's where you are, that's wonderful. So hold and breathe. And when you're ready, release that leg. Shake it out. And we're moving to the left side. So again, we're starting here, we're hinging forward. Coming up onto the ball of our foot, we might stay here. Or we might start to lift. So this, we're using our core with lifting, we're using our legs, we're engaging all our muscles. Our arms are assisting, but the main lift is not coming through our arms. We're not pulling our leg up with our arms. So you might come a little bit higher. You might start to put one hand around the outside and one underneath. Or you might come up far enough that you intertwine the fingers around the front of the knee. And then lifting up through the spine, lifting up through the sternum, pulling back. So this is where the arms do engage. If we're pulling the knee towards the chest, if we've gotten to that level of flexibility, then we're going to use the arms. So tension with the arms pulling towards us as we pull the chest forward. And breathe. Deep, full breaths. And begin to release the legs slowly. Great. Now we'll move over to the side of our chair and begin warrior poses. So we're just going to take a couple steps over to the right. We can hang on to the back of our chair. We might scoot back a little bit so that we're balanced and steady. And then we're going to slide the left hip slightly off the chair so that we have the mobility to move it back and forth. Now you probably want to hang on to the back of your chair setting up to make sure that you're well balanced and we're not going to come off the front of it. So once you find a good steady position, feet are apart, you're sitting nice and steady, we're going to move into warrior one. So you might keep the hand on the back of the chair or you might explore bringing it down. So level one, you'll just open the legs slightly and hands stay here. Level 2, you might grab the back of the chair and drop the knee down. The toes press into the ground, the heel is up. And level 3, you're going to bring the leg back and straighten out the knee. So hands are level 1, you're just resting your hands down on your legs. Level 2, you come to heart center. And level 3, you might begin to lift the arms up and out. So palms facing together, looking forward. So find your level of flexibility, and we'll hold and breathe for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, whichever warrior position you're in, stay there, and we're going to move into warrior 2. So the legs stay the same, arms are slightly different. So you might keep your arms down. Your arms might start to come out. So right hand facing forward, left hand facing back, but elbows are bent and wrists are bent. So that's level 2. Level 3, you might stretch out your arms. With level 3, for the legs, you might turn your foot sideways so that the sole of the foot is flat against the ground. If you're in either level 1 or 2 of the legs, just keep the legs the same. And we'll hold and breathe for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now for reversed warrior, I'll show you all 3 levels, so stay where you're at in your level. But for level 1, you're just going to set your hand on the chair behind you. Your right hand will start to come up. So it can come to wherever you're comfortable. It could be here, but you can start to arch your back and bring it higher if you'd like, wherever you come to. Level 2 is the same, so one hand behind you to support you. The other hand will come up to wherever you feel comfortable. You can also keep the other hand on the waist and just bring the chest up. Level 3, the leg is already balancing us out. So rather than put our hand on the back of the chair, we're going to rest the hand on the leg. And then this other arm comes up, again to wherever you're comfortable, all the way to about here. We don't want to go much further than here, but we can stay here as well. Our gaze is towards our hand. So find the pose in the level that you're most comfortable in and breathe for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're coming back down. So legs stay the same for a little bit longer. If you are in level 3, we're just going to bring the elbow down to the knee. Actually, any level you can do this. Or you can bring the hand down to the knee. So let's say I'm in level 2. I'll keep this hand here. This hand can either come here or here. Now, with our left hand, we can keep it back in whichever level we're in, or we can start to raise it over the head and out. So you can be up here, or you can be here, and we'll just look forward in the same direction that our right hand is pointing. Just breathe here. Nice deep breaths. Inhale, we're going to come back briefly to warrior 2, wherever that is for you, and bring the legs back together, coming back to center. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Going to do warrior poses on the opposite side. So coming over to the left side now. Use the chair for support. Bring that right hip off the edge. Find your stability. And going into warrior one. So you might stay here, open the legs slightly. You might start to drop the knee down, the heel up, and the ball of the foot pressing into the ground, or you might straighten the leg all the way back. Hands are either down, heart center, or you begin to draw the hands up, gazes forward. And hold and breathe for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Moving into the warrior two. So warrior two, your legs are either here, here, or you begin to flatten the foot on the ground. Arms are down, baby bird, or extend. And breathe for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And moving into reversed warrior. So remember, the hand comes down to the chair behind you if you're in 1 or 2. If you're in level 3, the hand comes to the back of the leg. The left hand begins to draw up. The chest draws up towards the ceiling. And you can stop wherever you're comfortable. I don't want anyone moving too far, too deeply into it. But however you're comfortable up until about this point. And breathe for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Release the arms, and we're going to tilt forward. So you can have one hand on your waist, again, in whatever position you're in. The other hand either comes to your knee or your elbow can connect with your knee. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can also draw this hand at your waist up and over your head. And breathe. Really rooting through the feet. And come back up, release the arms, and bring the legs back together. Come back to center. Take a couple deep breaths here. And we'll move into our balancing poses. So for this, if you want to remain seated, you can, and just kind of imitate what I do with the legs in a seated position. For everyone else, we're going to stand up. So all of these leg positions, for the most part, you can do sitting as well. I'm going to turn the chair sideways so that you can see me. You can keep your chair where it's at. And we're going to start on the left side this time, just so that you can see my leg since my right leg is behind. So we want to step the feet about hip width apart. So that's hip bone distance, not hip width distance. And we'll begin by coming up onto the ball of our foot on the left foot. And we're going to put our weight into our right leg and start to lift those toes off the ground. Just see where you're at here. See how the balance is. You might swing the foot back and forth. If you're not comfortable here, just keep those toes and the ball of the foot on the ground. If you do feel comfortable when you lift off, then I'm going to have you lift your foot a little bit higher. The knee is bent. You can stay here, or you can hang onto the chair with one hand and you can lift the knee with the other hand so that it's coming up a little bit higher. So wherever you're at, we're just going to hold forward for a moment. So we're just going to hold and breathe. Again, if you need both hands on the chair, it doesn't matter how high up your leg comes as long as you're putting an effort into pulling it up and balancing. And we'll just sit here, rooting in through the bottom foot, really engaging through that leg, and breathing deeply. If you're feeling comfortable, like you can go a little bit higher, you might test your strength, test your balance by lifting the leg just a little higher. And now wherever you are, don't drop your leg. If you're touching the ground, we're just going to bring the leg out. If your leg is in the air, we're just going to draw that leg out to the side. If you're holding it, again, you're coming out. So we're going to the side, so it's a slightly different balance, slightly different muscles engaged. And we're going to hold and breathe here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring the leg back in. Breathe in, and on the exhale, bring the legs back to that standing posture. We're going to move to the other side, so begin to shift your weight onto the left foot. To start, we're just going to come up on the ball of our right foot and begin to lift the toes off the ground. We're just testing the balance here. You might bring it back and forth, see where you're at. If you feel really steady here, you might begin to lift the leg a little bit higher, or you might come back down onto the ball of the foot. If you're comfortable here, you might draw it a little bit higher, hang onto the chair with one hand, while wrapping the other hand around the leg. And wherever you are, we'll hold and breathe for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now don't relax the leg just yet. We're going to draw it out to the side wherever you are. And hold and breathe for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bringing the leg back in. Breathe in nice and deep, and on the exhale, begin to release the leg back down. Now, just kind of shake out the legs back and forth a little bit. Great. And we're going to start to press into the chair and walk our way back, kind of get a stretch through the arms and through the back. So come to wherever you're comfortable. It might be here, but just keep walking back until you feel a nice stretch through that spine. And wherever you are, let's hold here, allowing the breath to come deeply. If you don't feel breath here, if you are struggling to breathe, you might back off just a little. This is kind of a downward dog using the chair while standing. Then begin to walk the feet back in, coming back to a seated position. Now here in the chair, we're going to do a couple cat-cows, and then we'll start to wrap up the practice. So on the inhale, we're going to arch the spine and bring the gaze up, draw the shoulders back, tailbone comes out, and exhale, tucking in the stomach, rounding through the spine, looking towards the navel. Inhale, and exhale. Really go at your own pace. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. One more time. Inhale, and exhale. Coming back to center. Bring the hands, there's several places you could put them. You can just keep them down. You can bring the palms up, or you can come heart center. We're just going to take a moment to breathe here. You can have the eyes open or closed, whatever's more comfortable to you. Beginning the breath at your own tempo. On your next inhale, we'll begin to breathe together. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. And exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue to inhale and exhale at your own pace. Try to make sure that the inhales and the exhales are the same length, really drawing out the breath, filling the whole cavity of the chest, and then deflating it entirely. You can continue to breathe here, or when you're ready, you can begin to move back into your chair and start to sit into a posture of relaxation, whatever that means for you, wherever you're most comfortable. Allowing the body to relax, allowing the breath to relax, allowing the mind to relax, releasing the tension, being aware of any areas of the body that might be more active or more tense, allowing those to sink into the chair and into the floor. Being aware of the moment, of the sensations in your body, of the noises around you. Allow yourself to sink into this moment. Be completely present. Relaxing and releasing. Grounding. When you're ready, return to the sitting mountain pose. Bring the hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today for this practice.